Today's lesson is on estimation of whole numbers. This is a review lesson since this is previously learned material. Go ahead and add this in your head. You have 10 seconds. Obviously that wasn't enough time to add in your head, but let me show you a couple ways you could have done it to get an answer that's close. First of all, we're going to do some estimation with it. Estimation is when you need an answer, but it doesn't have to be exact. There are a couple ways to get your estimated answer. One way is by rounding. We round numbers to a specific place value. Another way is using compatible numbers. Compatible numbers are numbers that are easily added or subtracted mentally. Remember, estimation should be done in your head. It is not the process, the estimate is the answer. How you get there is either by rounding or compatible numbers. Since this unit focuses on adding and subtracting, we'll focus on just using rounding and compatible numbers. Estimations are made based on your experience. They're also made by rough calculations. They don't have to be exact. And we are rounding off values to get the estimates. Here are some examples. If you'd like to read those, you can stop the video and read them, of when we do use estimation in daily life. To find an estimate, we're going to first look at rounding. When rounding, we're going to use these rules, and this poem will help you. Locate your number, look right next door, 5 or higher, just add one more. 4 or lower, just ignore. Here we have an example of 5,753, and we want to round to the tens place. So the first thing I'm going to do is locate my number. I have a tens place is right there. I'm going to look right next door, which means I'm going to draw an arrow to the next door, which is a 3. 5 or higher, add one more. Well, the 3 is not higher than 5. 4 or lower, just ignore. So I'm going to just ignore that, and my answer is going to be 5,750. If you think of a number line, 53 is closer to 50 than it is to 60. In using compatible numbers, we look for numbers that are easy to do mentally. In many cases, the numbers will either add or subtract to an easy number like 10. For example, 28 plus 12. I know 2 plus 8 equals 10, plus the 20 from over here, plus the other 10 equals 40. The next one, 5 plus 5 equals 10. So in my head, I'm thinking 10 plus 40 plus the other 10 to get 60. And in subtraction, a lot of times, you may only have one place value you have to subtract. For example, 6 in the 10 spot minus the 2 in the 10 spot equals 4, and it's 4 tens, so that would be 40. Many compatible numbers add up to easy numbers that we enjoy, like tens, hundreds, thousands. If I want to estimate to the tens, what column should I look at here? I'm going to look at the tens column. So here I have 4 in the tens column and a 3 in the tens column. I look back and locate the number next door. 2 is smaller than 5, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to write it over here as 540. Plus, I look back, the 9 is larger than 5, so I'm going to round up and add one more. So the 3 turns into a 4. So I have 640. And I can add that together quickly to get 1,180. If I want to estimate to the hundreds, which place value should I look at? I hope you said hundreds. So let's look here. We have a 6 and a 3 in the hundreds spot. I look right next door. The 2, what does that tell me? Keep it the same. Very good. So we're going to keep the same for the 6, and everything behind it becomes zeros. The 3 looks at the 1, and what does that tell me? You're right, it's only become 300. Well, I know 6 plus 3 is 9, so I know it's 900. Easy to do in your head, and that's what you want estimates to be. Easy to do mentally. Remember this number? Well, we can change it and round it so we could get an estimate quickly. Does that look better? It's much easier to add this in our head and know that it's 30 million. 10 million plus 20 million is 30 million. So our answer is going to be around 30 million. So I'd like you to put this into your notes. When you are rounding to find an estimate, always round to the highest place value in all the numbers. This is a little bit confusing for some people, but I have some examples. In the first example, I have 27 plus 129. Since I do not have a hundreds place in 27, I need to round to the tens place, and that also means I round to the tens place in the next addend. Keep the same place values. So if you're rounding to tens, they both have to be rounded to the tens. If you're rounding to hundreds, they both have to be rounding to the hundreds. This one would be 30 plus 130, which in my head I can do easily, so my estimate is 160. Looking at the second one, I do not have any thousands here, so I'm going to have to round to the hundreds place. I look next door and I see it's a 9, so this becomes 3,600 minus, and the 3 does not change the 2, becomes 200, and in my head I can do that quickly, 3,400. Here's some independent practice. You do not have to copy the problems down, but you do have to show me what you changed the numbers to. Give me your estimate. Remember, that's the final answer for these 4 problems. Bring it back to class and we'll discuss them there.